Mike here, glad you could join me. This is the short version of Soundly's photo that was used in Globebusters. Now, Soundly was on Globebusters, and he showed Bob and Jared that you can pull a moon image out of the Eclipse. And I thought that was very strange, since out of the hundreds of photos taken of the eclipse that day and all the many raw image data that was sent to me, nobody saw the moon at all, except, well, for Soundly, of course. And so Bob believed Soundly, and since Bob believed Soundly, well, then I was interested because I was after a real picture of the moon. Now, I'm not against Soundly, and I totally disagree with his Lake Pontchartrain conclusions. I totally disagree with him faking the ISS video he just put up, and some other things he's faked. But, you know, it is YouTube, and you are allowed to content create whatever you want to get subs and ad revenue. I run no ads on my channel, and I receive no revenue from my channel but that which people donate to me once in a great while, and I am thankful for that. But anyways, Bob went ahead and contacted me. He asked me, was Soundly's image fake? Now, I gave Bob a definite yes, it has to be fake, because, you know, if you have 100 people pointing their camera at the forest and only one person gets that picture of Bigfoot standing in front of everybody, well, that's kind of suspicious. And so I went in to pursue to investigate this. And normally I use forensic software and Photoshop to debunk UFOs, ISS fake stations, and destroy NASA. And all that's not hard to do. I've never really looked at an eclipse before, and there's some things I had to understand about the rotation of the eclipse, the position of it at various locations, before I was able to make a determination on some things. And so it was a learning process for me. However, I was determined to get the truth, as always, and I deceived no one. This zip file, or rare file that you see here, I got, this was sent to me after I went to Soundly and Sean. They gave this link to me here on a Google Drive, and I downloaded the zip file. It's taken from a Nikon D4. I know Soundly owns a Rebel T5 and a P900. I don't know who owns the Nikon D4, or even if the Nikon D4 is real and maybe it was just faked in the EXIF data. I have no clue. The two pictures in the set of pictures that are real and untouched are these two here, this one and this one. And after I examined the images, I went back to Sean and I told him flat out, these are not real. You guys manipulated these. And he still won't come clean. And I don't understand that thinking. If you fake something, just say you faked it and let everybody move on. You know, just admit it and drop it and let's go. But however, Sean would not do that, so I did not let the pressure off of them. And finally, Soundly messaged me a little bit too late, though, because I did offer him to come in the video with Anthony Riley and I guess he was at doing a football game. I don't know. Maybe he didn't get the message in time, but I certainly did invite him to see what I did and how I determined his images were fake, and to answer any questions that he had about it, to do it up front. He says, Mike, tell me, I did not use that image, but the fact that the image exists is a problem. For full disclosure, you should give it to either Sean or myself. Why are you not doing so? So here we have panic mode time, but now they want to come clean. But the problem is, Anthony and I had already made the video, and I asked them. I was on Sean's live chat, and they had ample opportunity to say, hey, Mike, yeah, we faked the image. That's all they had to do. It wasn't that difficult. It's not that hard. If you faked it, you faked it. So what? Most YouTube channels out there faked, and folks, every photograph you see on a magazine cover is touched up and not the real image. That's just how things are. And I'm not saying anything's nefarious about doing that, but when you're doing research and you're trying to find out if something was in the sun or not, if the moon was there or not, and that data can't be faked. That's doing research. So I don't need the images photoshopped for me or the moon added in. The image that I told you that was real is this image here. And we'll just go to image adjustments. I'll do the same thing I did in the long video, and then we'll just maybe do some levels on this. But this image here is 100% real. There's no moon image in here. If you notice this blue area There's no distortion in this blue area. That's because there's no image overlaid in here. Everything's even. It's not pixelated out, and there's just nothing in this image. When you shut off the different channel colors, the image remains the same. Nothing changes. All the pixel data is there on all 3 channel colors: the red, the green, and the blue. And so that tells me that this image is not manipulated, at least in the sense that a moon picture wasn't added on here. Everything in the image gradients out like it should. There's no extra image in here, nothing that would tell me that it's fake or blocking anything. And all the pixel data is the same in the whole image. And that's another thing I didn't cover in the other video. In the faked images, the pixel data is at a lower resolution than the rest of the image. But if we were to zoom in here, we get this real fine pixel data. It's nice and fine. You can see this. Now remember this, and we'll come back to this here in a second. This image here is the one Soundly used on Globebusters. Now if we just go to image, and see what we can find here. There we go. Now we are getting a picture of the moon. So awesome. But in this image, we are also getting something else, and you can see this line across here. There is in a box pasted. I'll bring it on to something else. Now, the thing that bothered me with this image here, and if we zoom in, you can see how crazy how bad the pixel data is. Let me show you the real image here. This pixel data as opposed to this larger, chunkier pixel data. Smooth pixel data, chunky pixel data. Smooth pixel data, chunky pixel data. And so the chunky pixel data is simply because somebody's overlaid a lower resolution image in here, mainly a moon photo. And the other thing about this, unlike the other one, when we turn off the green and the blue, we still have our moon photo in here. But when I shut off this green channel, our moon photo disappears. And then once again, you can see the square box start to appear in here. And so this tells me 100% this image is fake, manipulated, and you know, this moon image should be on all these channels, which I showed in my other video. Unlike this image here, this is original, and once again, it stays the same. Nothing changes, no matter what color channel you're on, and that's the way it should be. So I found this box, and I highlighted it in here. Here we can see there's a box in here, and this box is in here because Soundly or Sean or somebody overlaid a picture of the moon on top of this image. It's there. You can't hide it. It's not at all in this image here. This image here is fine. It depixelates and equalizes evenly. This image here, not so much. It's right in here. We get that box image that somebody overlaid, and that was the moon. Here's the image. I brought it out a little more using this, but if we, you know, it's just on the green channel. If we enable another channel, look at it, it's not there. On the red channel, it's not there, but we enable the green, it shows up. Disable the green, it's not there. Blue channel, same thing. If we just use the blue channel, it's not there. You just get this pixelated mess in there because they overlaid something on top of there. And all I wanted was an image of the moon, and I wish Soundly would have just been honest. I mean, you know, folks, would be nice, you know, if globe earthers want to fake stuff, and, you know, flat earthers fake stuff too. Well, there you have it. This is Mike. I'm not mad at Soundly or Sean or Res Rhetoric. Now, they do need to improve their demeanor and personalities, because cursing at people and stuff, that children do that in high school, man. I didn't understand it, or what like when I was in Sean's chat, it was really strange because I'm not used to hanging around adults that behave in such manner, and so it was kind of weird for me. But you know, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Soundly. Here's the thing, though: if what you believe is true, it will be proven true, and that's why Soundly, you don't need to fake a fake station in front of the sun. Okay, I examine your photos, that video. It's also a bad job too. And you know, here's the thing: if it's real, it'll prove itself out. Now, if you're just faking stuff because you know you're so shallow, you don't have any real information to give some people, and you want to get viewers, well, you know, maybe I understand that. I get that, and you know, and you run your channel the way you want. I'm nothing against you. I just know I can't trust you to come to you for real information, like I can Wolfie. One thing I know about Wolfie is, despite him being a globe earther, he's convinced in what he believes is real. And that's important, people, because it's a heart condition. Somebody that actually believes in Santa Claus, because they actually fully believe it, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as their heart is right. As long as they know they're not lying to people when they say there's a Santa Claus, then they're okay with God. And this is why if you are doing things falsely and you know they're false, that's why you get so much in trouble, and you have to reap what you sow, and it's not pretty, folks. Be honest with everybody, and if you don't want to give information, you don't have to self-incriminate yourself. Being a Christian doesn't mean you have to open your mouth. Okay, you don't have to confess everything to everybody. Just keep your mouth shut, believe God, and go on. This is Mike. Like and subscribe.